Podcasts are hot right now. How do I know? Well, you're listening to one right now, aren't you? But you might be wondering, how on earth do I get my voice out there and start my own podcast? It all seems so intimidating. Between hosting and platforms and monetization, it can get real complicated real quick. Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. We started this podcast over 2 years ago, not knowing clue one on how to do it. So how do we do it? We did it with Anchor. Anchor is the free podcast app with creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. And Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on all the platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And everybody likes money, right? Well, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So go right now, download the free Anchor app, or go to Anchor FM to get started. It's the eCommerce Minute, your daily dose of e-commerce, tech, and retail news with your hosts, Bart, Mroz, and John Suder. The eCommerce Minute is a production of SUMO Heavy, a digital commerce consulting firm in Brooklyn, New York, and Philadelphia. Find us on the web at sumoheavy.com. It's e-commerce Minute episode 636.
In today's episode, Google designed an envelope to hide your phone from yourself.
All right, we've done a bunch of weird stories, but this is probably going to be the top 10 for the year. It's safe to say that most of us are addicted to being connected, whether it be your phone, your tablet, your laptop, or your TV. We all crave being in front of a screen. Phone usage, in particular, is getting out of hand. Some studies say that 22% of us check our phones every few minutes, and 51% of users look at it a few times per hour. So what do we do to combat this habit? Google might have a solution. Back in October, Google debuted experimental apps focused on digital well-being. The new apps included one that offered a notification mailbox and another one that tracked how long you went between phone unlocks. There's even one that lets you print the information you needed from your phone for the day so you wouldn't have to use your phone. And that's just to name a few. Google now has taken it one step further. One of the new apps, part of their digital well-being, is an app that actually has you seal up your phone in a phone-sized paper envelope. Envelope by Special Projects asks users to put their phone inside a paper envelope to minimize distractions. The two types of envelopes, one for calls only and one for camera only, will, quote, temporarily transform your phone into a simpler, calmer device, end quote, Special Project said. Using the calls only envelope allows you to make and receive calls and check the time, while the camera envelope lets you take photos and videos, but you can't look at any of the photos until you take it out of the envelope. To wrap up your phone, there's a printable PDF for Google Pixel 3a phones that let you print at full scale, then cut, fold, and glue, kind of like an elementary school project. The end result is a paper phone sleeve that leaves room for the camera and offers a numerical keyboard on the front. Another new app is called Activity Bubbles, and it creates a new bubble for each phone unlocked during the day. The bubble then grows larger the longer you use your device. Your bubbles can be set as a live wallpaper so you can continually keep track of your screen time and see how insane you're going in your life. Screen Stopwatch is the final new app that Google launched. It tracks how long you've been on your phone each day by counting the hours, minutes, and seconds of screen time with every unlock. This too can be set as a live wallpaper so you can see your phone usage grow throughout the day. Will people use these apps? Will these apps actually work to decrease screen time? One thing we do know is that technology addiction is a very real problem. Stay tuned. How many bubbles you got on your phone, Brittany?
Oh my God. I've been trying to lower my screen time over the past couple of weeks.
Should we live check it?
Recently, it's probably not going to be
John,
that
what's
crazy.
the live check-in?
I think my screen usage goes up with the amount of anxiety I have in my life. So my phone usage has probably been off the charts. Like yesterday morning, for some reason, I woke up at 2:30 and basically surfed the internet till about 4, returned a couple emails, then went back to sleep.
Yeah.
That is what?
It was bad. It's not like that all the time, but there is a correlation, I think, between people who suffer from anxiety and people who need that little dopamine hit. I know over the holidays, what I try to do is I uninstall Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. This year, I was not quite as successful because I find that I'm using Facebook to keep informed on things, not news-wise, but just things happening in the city and stuff, because I follow a lot of restaurants and things, and I use it for more like a social calendar kind of thing. But I did not participate. I didn't jump in. I didn't post anything. Twitter was easy. And Instagram, again, I'm a visual person, so that was a little harder.
Yeah.
But I can see how difficult this is for people that actually struggle with, I can't be without my phone for more than 5 minutes. I mean, it's a real problem.
So should we do this in real life? Here's my
we all check our phones?
Yeah, my daily average is 2 hours and 15 minutes.
Where do we find that?
I don't have my phone.
It's in settings.
Brittany doesn't even have her phone.
Nope, I'm telling you.
Well, the problem is I never looked at this app, but there's a switch you can turn on, share across devices. And I'm like, yeah, my laptop is going to suck.
It just, honestly, my usage depends on the news. So like bad news Sunday, I've been on my phone a lot keeping up with
Yeah,
it.
well, I think that's a different situation though. I think it's just people who, what I've tried to do, I cannot find this. Bart, where is this?
Settings.
Settings. Oh, daily average 5 hours, 35 minutes, but down 5% from last week. Yikes. Yikes.
Yeah.
Lots of late night activity there. So anyway, I think, well, the problem is I think people are generally stressed because the news cycle has been kind of weird. And you look at Sunday, what Brittany's referring to is we found out Sunday afternoon that Kobe Bryant was killed in a helicopter accident. So everybody was kind of freaking out. And if you look the past 3 days, and I'm sure, the next preceding week or two, that will fill your news cycle. And if that's something that really touched you, you're going to keep poking at it. You're going to keep going at it. You're going to keep just looking, checking.
Yep.
Nothing's really going to change. You're just going to just keep having that feeling of, sadness that, every time you go to look at it. And it's not good for mental health. I mean, that's the one thing that concerns me is that we're, this generation now, and I've even seen a change in myself where I was always an avid reader and I was always a pretty decent writer, but my attention span in the last couple of years has turned into a goldfish, and I have to now play tricks on myself and force myself to, set timers and do things to force myself to just look at this. Do not look at the other 7 things that are buzzing around in your head. And the phone is a real problem.
Yep.
Okay, good.
I mean, it is and isn't. I think I look at my phone. It's funny because I look at my phone right now, but I look at my phone while watching TV. Just kind of.
Yeah, I have a bad habit of doing that as well.
I mean, I don't think it's a bad habit. I mean, it's just TV. I think it's other things that are a problem.
I just don't understand. I could be sitting there and go, all right, I don't watch a ton of TV, and I pretty much silo off when I'm actually going to watch TV. So it's a kind of a dedicated thing, not I'm just going to spend the night watching TV and, work checking emails. It's like I try not to do both at once. But I'll be sitting there watching something good on HBO that really has my attention, and I'm pulling out my phone looking at Twitter. I'm like, why? Why? What is on Twitter that's more interesting than what's in front of me right here?
Yeah.
And I look at the phone and I'm like, why am I doing this? Same thing with last night. So I had a little bit of insomnia. I think of one thing and I'm like, oh, I got to check my phone. I'm checking the phone for something not related to what is on my mind, thinking that I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe that I'll just put my mind somewhere else. And, I'm chasing all these rabbits around the internet in the middle of the night. It's crazy. Anxiety is a terrible thing.
You need to stop doing that.
That's easier said than done.
That could be a whole nother podcast.
Yeah.
It's easier said than done because it's very hard walking around with just this borderline hum of anxiety all the time. And
Oh my God, yeah.
sometimes the middle of the night, it says,
Hello.
hi, we're here. We need to
Hey,
talk for a little bit.
girl. What's up? I know you were relaxing.
I know you were sleeping and everything, but hey, listen, we got a couple things we got to go over.
Hey.
And it's like, why did you say that to that person the other day?
Oh yeah, literally.
What happened when you left the other night? Well, did you tip the bartender enough? Did you take the laundry out of the dryer? Everything's going to stink if you leave it in there. It's just, a whole rabbit wheel, a whole hamster wheel full of things.
Stupid shit too.
Stupid shit. Yep, mostly stupid shit.
Nothing that's life or death. Yeah. Even yesterday, I was doing laundry and I was washing my sheet and I just was sitting there minding my own business, doing some work, whatever. And I get this pang of anxiety, oh my God, did I throw my remotes in the washer with my sheet? Yeah, the Roku remote thing, whatever.
Nice and clean now.
Yeah, and I didn't, but my brain convinced myself that I did for no reason.
Yeah.
Well,
and I'm
have you ever left the house and then turned around and went back because you thought, I definitely left that
I do that all
iron water running?
For sure.
I definitely have those OCD moments.
That's the worst when you're at the airport and you have that feeling.
God, yeah.
Yeah, I make sure that the hot water kettle and stuff like that, that's all turns off by itself. All those things just automatically turn off.
Yeah.
Luckily for me now, my apartment has the automatic doors that I can check from my phone, which is great. But yeah, leaving shit on is not a good thing.
And so we distract ourselves from the reality of potentially leaving something on by going on our phone.
Yeah, it is a vicious cycle or vicious circle, depending on where you're from, cycle or circle, because it all is a big circle. Anxiety is a big circle. So we're going to give you a couple new terms of technology that you may or may not be familiar with. Nomophobia. What's that, Bart?
Nomophobia? Well, phobia is scared of. I'm not sure what the other one
The
is.
fear of going without your phone.
Oh, Jesus.
It's a textbook term.
Textophrenia. What do you think that is?
What?
Textophrenia.
Missing text?
The fear that you can't send or receive texts.
Oh.
Phantom vibrations. Okay,
I have those.
I totally get this.
You're like, fuck.
You know what? I get it with my watch and I get it with my phone. And I could not be wearing either. And I'm like, oh, my what? I'm like, my watch is on the charger. I'm like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Very weird. But I do get the phone vibrations. Like I get this tingling in my left leg. I'm like, oh, God, I don't even have my phone on me. It's on the charger. Pretty spooky. All right. We'll close this one up a little. Stat time. Brittany, who's Leftronic?
Oh, it's just like the
Is that a new techno band that's at Coachella?
It's just the publication that I got every single one of those stats from.
All right.
So I just prefaced it.
Gotcha. These stats per Leftronic. 194 billion with a B mobile apps were downloaded in 2019. 92% of Americans believe that cell phone addiction is real. 2/3 of the world is now connected via mobile devices. And mobile owners worldwide will increase to 7.33 billion with a B by 2023. And finally, 90% of Americans fall in the category of overusing, misusing, or abusing devices. That final stat is from PsychAlive. Crazy. All right, so if you want to go check out the new Google apps, where would we go, Brittany? Would we go in the Google Play Store?
Yeah.
Check out the Google Play Store. All right, you guys got anything else?
No.
All right, stay off your phone. That's your e-commerce minute for today. We'll see you on the internet tomorrow. That's it for today's show. If you like the show, do us a favor and subscribe or leave us a review on iTunes. And don't forget, you can now listen to the e-commerce minute on your Amazon device. Just add e-commerce minute to your flash briefing. And finally, if you have a comment or suggestion or just want to say hi, find us on social media at SUMO Heavy.